Assalamualaikum and a very good day to our beloved panels. First and foremost, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Nurul Najwa binti Ali Akbar.
I am Anisa Binti Sharubaki. We will present our research study, which is the responsibilities of UiTM Strumentary students during online distance learning (ODL) amid COVID-19 pandemic. The emergence of COVID-19 pandemic has changed from traditional face-to-face learning to online distance learning. Ministry of Higher Education declared all public and private universities in Malaysia to perform a teaching and learning activities via online learning, which include the University Technology Mara, which is UiTM. Students' responsibilities during online learning is to be more self-directed, enthusiastic, analytical, and responsible for their own learning.
The problem statement of this research are students believe that the main obstacles to online learning are a lack of interaction, technological issues, and difficulty understanding instructional objective, which recognized as factors affecting students' motivation. The poor responsibilities, on the other hand, has been identified as a major contributor to the high dropout rates caused by demotivation, which influenced by the problems related to technologies. Additionally, students were found to be unprepared to balance their work, families, and personal life with their study life in an online learning environment, which caused the abbreviation in their responsibilities.
The first question in this study is what are the responsibility of UiTM Strumentary students during online distance learning amid COVID-19 pandemic? Secondly, what is the relationship between attributes of self-determination theory, which is competence, autonomy, and relatedness, with responsibilities of UiTM Strumentary students during online distance learning? And lastly, what is the most important factor of self-determination theory that influence students' responsibilities during online distance learning? The first research objective in this study is to determine the level on the responsibilities of UiTM Strumentary students during online distance learning (ODL) amid COVID-19 pandemic. Secondly, is to identify the relationship between attributes of self-determination theory, which is competence, autonomy, and relatedness, with the responsibilities of UiTM Strumentary students during online distance learning. And lastly is to identify the most contributing factors of self-determination theory that influence the responsibility of UiTM Strumentary students during online distance learning.
Move to literature review. The first attributes of self-determination theory is competence. The people are more inclined to take actions that will help them reach their goals if they believe they have required competencies. To require the competencies, they will enhance their skills in areas that are important. Next, competence is when learners who are competent are the ones who take full responsibilities and their own self-growth for the development. They often understand their strengths and weaknesses in a situation and analyze their skills and knowledge. Additionally, competence is described as the capacity to apply or employ a set of relevant knowledge, skills, and behaviors for a particular work area to execute their responsibilities. Moreover, is the autonomy. Autonomy refers to a feeling of inner approval for one's action, which is a feeling that comes from themselves and its own. Next, the more autonomous the conduct, the more it is supported by the entire self and perceived as an action for which one is responsible. This is because it enables them to possess greater responsibility for their own learning. Furthermore, students satisfied with their autonomy needs when engaged in learning activities with a sense of control over their actions. This is because to make learning possible, the student's engagement is essential. The last attribute is relatedness. People need a sense of belonging and connection with others as people are required to interact in doing something. This will sustain a close and meaningful connections that is basic need in relatedness. Next, by having relatedness, students are more likely to adopt environmental values and abilities as it expresses a desire to be emotionally involved and connected. Moreover, in the classroom, relatedness was considered extremely important for academic achievement as it emphasized the roles of educators' support for students' needs, especially in online learning.
Conceptual framework for the study, the IV are competence, autonomy, and relatedness, which will influence the DV known as responsibilities of students during online distance learning (ODL). For this research methodology, the research design used is the quantitative method, and the unit of analysis comprised the UiTM Srumbantri students. In addition, among 5,000 population of UiTM Srumbantri students, the sample size for this study is 357 respondents. Moreover, the sampling technique used is known as the stratified random sampling, SRS, and the data measurement used is the Likert scale. As for the data collection, we're using an online questionnaire for the respondents, and the data analysis comprise descriptive and statistics, person correlation, and multiple regressions.
Alright, next we can see that there are three independent variables, which are competence, autonomy, and relatedness. Each of it consists of two hypotheses. For null hypothesis, there is no significant relationship between independent variables and dependent variable. Meanwhile, for alternative hypothesis, there are a significant relationship between independent variables and dependent variable. Move the demographic profiles of respondents. As we can see in the table, the majority of the respondents come from female, which has the percentage of 69.2% and the frequency of 247. For the age, the highest percentage is on the respondents that age 22 years old and above, which has 53.2% with the frequency of 190. Next, the current academic taking, most respondents are taking bachelor degree with 76.5% and the frequency of 273. Moreover, the highest percentage on the current semester is semester 6, which has 40.9% respondents and the frequency of 146. Furthermore, most of the respondents are from FSPPP faculty, which has 56.6% and the frequency of 202. Next, the online study methods used by the respondent mostly is the smartphone, with the percentage of 81% and the frequency of 289. Lastly, the highest percentage of residential area is semi-urban, which has 40.3% respondents with the frequency of 144 people.
The first objective for the main finding is to determine the level of the responsibilities of UiTM Srumbantri students during online distance learning ODL. The data analysis used is a descriptive statistics. The result from the mean shows 3.8930, while the standard deviation is 0.70558. Therefore, the hypothesis indicate that there is a high level on the responsibilities of UiTM Srumbantri students during online distance learning. The second objective is to identify the relationship between attributes of self-determination theory, which is competence, autonomy, and relatedness, with the responsibilities of UiTM Srumbantri students during online distance learning. The data analysis used is person correlation. The result for competence shown that the R is 0.764 and the p-value is lower than 0.05, which is 0.000. And the hypothesis for competence is hypothesis alternative 1 is accepted and rejected the hypothesis null 1. Moreover, the result for autonomy, R is 0.777 and p-value is 0.000. The hypothesis for autonomy is that hypothesis alternative 2 is accepted and rejected hypothesis null 2. Next, the result for relatedness is R is 0.733 and p-value is 0.000. The hypothesis for relatedness is hypothesis alternative 3 is accepted and rejected hypothesis null 3. The third objective is to identify the most contributing factors of self-determination theory, SDT, towards the responsibilities of UiTM Srumbantri students during online distance learning. The data analysis used is multiple regression. Based on the beta value, autonomy have the most significant relationship with the responsibilities of UiTM Srumbantri students during online distance learning, which is 0.41.
We move to research recommendations. Firstly, increase student engagement. It is necessary requirement for efficient and effective learning. It will give an autonomy to students as engagement is the primary driving force for students and educators to interact. Next, build valuable relationship with students. The loneliness felt by students in online learning may contribute significantly to their feelings of demotivation. Thus, the educators can build valuable relationship with students with academic assistance and non-academic academic assistance to create better environment of online learning. Last but not least is create an inclusive environment. It helps in ensuring students are motivated throughout the learning session. This can be done with encouraging students to talk about themselves other than just learning topic and being considerate with students that struggle. From this, it will provide inclusive environment and motivate students in participating in the online learning.
The research limitations portrayed under this study firstly is the data collection process, whereby this research is mainly focused on the UiTM Seremban 3 and using online questionnaire that led to the students may be overlooked or not aware that the questionnaire has been given. Secondly is quantitative research, where it is limits the researchers a chance to dig deeper into the data. This is because quantitative research, rigid and inflexible nature can lead to the absence of a relevant variable. Lastly is data quality, whereby online survey methods results that gained will not be as accurate as it's supposed to be because respondents are keen to answer randomly on the online questionnaire given without meticulously read the questions given first.
In conclusion, this research is important to help in identifying the factors that will influence the responsibilities of students. All of the factors which are competence, autonomy, and relatedness shows a positive relationship with the students' responsibilities during online distance learning. Furthermore, it indicated in the studies that the most significant factor that influenced the responsibilities of the students is autonomy. Therefore, the parties involved plays a vital role in ensuring online learning can be conducted successfully. That's all from us. Thank you.